Oh, next. Okay, good evening, Mrs. McDonald.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak this evening, and thank you again, President Shield, for taking my phone call on Saturday and taking time from your family. I appreciate that. I, too, and I know how all of you know that I feel as a parent that we need to stand behind our students and our finances. And I know the last time that I spoke, I went over all the items that proposed budget broke down for this year. And right now, I know Dr. Liepa is underpaid compared to a lot of the administrators that are out there, or superintendents that are out there in this county, tri-county area. However, we just can't afford it right now. It's not that you shouldn't get a raise. We just cannot afford a $50,000 a year raise. It just doesn't make any sense. We cut $11 million out of our budget for this year. We took parapros. We cut teaching staff, counselors, all of the monies that were in the reserve for textbooks and curriculum, student service staffing, everything has been cut to zero. The fund equity for the budget was supposed to be $556,000 based on the proposed budget for this year. Giving $50,000 is 10% of that budget. And does that really make sense? And I know Dr. Liepa understands what a tough time it is. He was at a meeting last week, and I didn't have the opportunity to attend, that was co-sponsored with Wayne Westland Schools. And he was quoted in the paper that public education is facing a multi-billion-dollar deficit down the road. And it's most alarming for us because we've never seen a time like this when funding looks so bleak. Well, funding is bleak, and I don't think we're going to see much in the way of any kind of increases coming from Lansing anytime too soon. So I really think you should reconsider and at least table this until we get a better idea of what kind of money we're going to have for next year, because we don't know that yet. Here we are at the beginning of the school year, and we're talking about taking $50,000 out of the budget for an increase that we don't even know if we can afford. And I would seriously think you need to reconsider voting on that. And when it comes time for the agenda item, I hope that you will read the amendment and not just pass it on as an attachment. I think the people in this community deserve to know how much it's going to cost us for this increase. We don't even know. We're only guessing that it's $50,000. We have no clue. And I know Linda didn't, I know you and I had talked and you didn't want to put it on the internet right away, but I do hope that it gets up there tomorrow, and I would hope you would do that for me. And that's it, that on that subject. And I'll be real quick on the letter. I would like to follow up on a letter on the Cooper site that we're putting the soccer dome on. And I got a letter back from Dr. Liepa and answering to my questions that I had in reference to the soccer dome project. And I had asked at that last meeting on the sinking fund expenditures as to who were the firms or who determined that it was okay to use sinking fund monies on this soccer dome project for Breeze Management Company. And he said we contacted 2 different legal firms who do school work, as well as our auditors, Yao and Yao. But I guess my question is, and maybe I need to be more open when I ask these questions, are who are those legal firms, and did you get something in writing? And if so, I'd like to see a copy of that, and if I have to FOIA, I will. Secondly, I asked about references, and your answer was you asked which references we verified for the organization with whom we entered into the cooperative agreement. The references we verified were from organizations the operator previously worked with. Well, I'd kind of like to know who those were too. So maybe I am going to have to send a FOIA tomorrow in order to get that information, and hopefully there's something in writing that you folks said that this guy was okay. And thirdly, I asked the question, what is the relationship between the owner of Summa Engineering and the operator? Summa Engineering is owned by Sabe Hermits, and the owner of Breeze Sports Management is Mofakwa Hermits, also known as Tony Hermits. And the answer was Summa Engineering provided services with our developer on this project prior to any involvement with our current potential operator. We do continue to utilize them because of their knowledge of the site. And it was indicated that Dr. Lee stated that I do not know what their relationship is between these two parties. And I guess it could be coincidental, but it just seems a little different to me that people with the same last name like that and the kind of the same soccer business, because if you do a search on Saba Hermits, his name comes up in association with soccer too. So that's my questions, and that's it. And thank you. I won't take any more time so other folks can get in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. McDonald.